This is the K&F Concept 32mm camera neck strap, and it's also a detachable quick release one. I've just literally bought this. It was delivered yesterday, so not even opened this, and I thought I would do an unboxing and review on this. I think first of all though, I need to address why I wanted to buy another camera strap. The strap that came with my camera I'm very happy with. I've had the camera now about 7 months and it does everything that it needs to do for really a bulk standard camera. The problem is it's just really my style of photography. At least 90% of the time my camera is sat on a tripod like it is now, and the camera strap basically just dangles down, gets in the way. If I turn the camera on portrait mode rather than landscape, then often not, if I've got the strap around the back, the strap will go over the sensor by the eyepiece and then take out the actual LCD screen. My other issue as well is that I do a lot of macro photography, and I will often have the camera upside down on the tripod, literally hovering just above the ground. And it means as well that the strap is then either laid on the ground, which is not good if it's wet and muddy, or I'm having to somehow tie it up and wrap it around either the camera or the tripod every time. And I've been looking into buying a detachable camera strap for probably a few months now. On a few of the social media groups that I'm a member of, I've either often seen the question posted, or I did actually post a question once myself about camera straps, and almost everybody comes back saying Peak Design. And when I looked at the Peak Design, to get a camera strap similar to this, you're looking at a minimum £60–70. I can understand a lot of people's point of view is that why spend so much on a camera when you're not going to go and buy a quality camera strap for it. My thought on that is that there's probably an awful lot of cheaper options out there that will do the job just as well. They're a Chinese based company, and there is one global web address to start with. Looking on their website, you can then select your region and then your country, and it will give you a list of possible sort of like options to go and buy the product. For us in the UK, there is also a separate website address for K&F as well as being available on Amazon, eBay for a couple of other options. Now I will say that this particular one on the UK website, it's listed at £43, but it's been reduced to £36. With Amazon, I always struggle a little bit on there to find the exact product, because often not the names are slightly different. They don't actually list the same model number, which is on the back of the item, that you can also find on the official website as well. But what I found on Amazon is it's listed at £30. If you're a Prime subscriber with Amazon, then you should get free delivery. If not, I think the delivery then is usually something like about £5. However, I also did a search on eBay for this, because it was listed I think at about £18–19 with about £3 delivery. So I think overall for this one I paid, I think it was about £23. So that's a big saving really, just looking at the one product for the different options you can buy it from, let alone then compare it to something like Peak Design, which is going to be £60–70. It's a third of the price. Now, first impressions I will say on this, it's shrink wrapped with the thin plastic that you get on a lot of products these days, which is no problem. You can just hopefully run your fingernail down the edge and get in there, and I've got to say it's actually quite tough plastic sleeving on there. It's not that really cheap stuff that just snaps away. It's got quite a bit of strength on it. And first impressions on this box is I don't know whether how well it shows on the camera there. The thickness of the box just shows a lot of quality. And the other one I would notice on this as well is that I've done a review on some of the Neewer products where I've bought the tripod and one of the filters, and they came in exactly the same quality of packaging as well. So taking the box off really easy, and straight away I can see there's some details in the lid, which is basically giving you warnings on when you're likely to need to replace this. It's just a cover that's on there, and as you can see, got the strap inside. So just pull this out, Like I say, that's really thick packaging. So the strap itself has just got a piece of cardboard around it that it's slid into. That just slides off like that, and here is the strap. And I've got to say, to start with, for the feelings of the strap itself and the metal adjusters on here, the probably piece of leather and the stitching, got to say, really impressed. The worry on this would be basically the thinner piece here, which is what's going to fit onto the camera, and the quality of the connector. How much, I mean, that is going to take an awful lot of pressure. But according to the official website for this strap, is that this is supposed to be able to take an 80-pound load. So that's going to be well beyond anything that I'm going to need. It's a double safety measure on here, and you've got these two pieces here that you've got to squeeze in so it doesn't release on there straight away, so you can't accidentally be released on the one. And at the same time as well, you've got a piece here, a little button there, you've got to press as well. So if I press that in, it doesn't release. If I just squeeze those in, it doesn't release. So you have to squeeze those in, push the button, and it releases. So all I need to do is release these on both ends and attach these to the camera. The good thing about these is that, as I say, you've just got to thread that piece through. So you can drop them through, hopefully easy enough, through the eye on there, and then you just need to drop it through there. So the good thing is I'm really having to sort of like squeeze this up and force it. So it means that it's not going to come off very easily. I just need to do the same on the other side. All I need to do now is, when I want to attach this, is just simply put that on there and do the same for this side. And that's the strap put on. The strap is fully adjustable. I mean, I've got to say, it feels quite heavyweight. I've got that at its shoulders level, and it's, even though I've got it directly around my neck, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. What I will say is that these here, where they're doubled up, do feel really comfortable. I believe it's the same material as the car seat belts are made from. So you'll know what a fresh sort of like seat belt will feel like. So if you want to adjust these, by the looks of it, you're going to have to feed it through. It's not just going to slide. So if I take that to its longest, there you go, on one side, straight away you can see it's literally right down at the bottom of my waist now. If I do this side as well, so I've just got to feed that up. Feed that through. Okay, that's now really long. So I'm holding this in my head height, and that's now down at my waist. So if I'm going to put that on there, that's really low level. Now the good thing about that is that if you want to use your camera in a sling method, sort of just over the one shoulder, you can at least have your camera fairly low down, and then you can pull it up to use that way. It's certainly at its longest here, it's too extreme for me. I would probably shorten that a little bit so that I've probably got my camera more down to the waist. So I'm just going to see how easy then it is to slide this back up. Got a feeling you're going to have to do the same sort of thing, is that feed some of this through first of all and then pull it back up. So I'm just going to do that on one side a bit. I will equal the other side out as well. So the good thing is you can just hold it like that and then quite easily do it. So I've now got that at my waist level on just a single shoulder, sort of like slingshot. So I could quite easily then bring the camera up, use it. I've got enough room to just use the cameras. Comfort wise, I've got to say it's actually really comfortable. The Canon strap has probably more of a softer sort of like backing on it, where this is just typical seatbelt material. So at the moment it's quite stiff, and I think after time it's going to soften up a little bit with use. In my usual scenario, if I was to take the camera out of the bag and I'd still got all this mounted as it is now, and I wanted to use my camera in my normal way, which is on the tripod, I could simply mount it on the tripod like this and quickly release this to put it out of the way. So that just means I've got these two pieces on the back of the camera, but they don't get in the way of anything. So I can switch the camera on and I've got full access to this. And the trouble I was having was when I was flipping this into portrait mode, the strap was dangling over here and often just blocking this sensor here, which then cuts out the screen. So just having those two there is not a problem. And even where I would have the camera mounters upside down on the tripod, low on the ground, that's the extent of how much they're going to be down. So I've only got that. If anything, it also acts as sort of like a buffer to show that I've got that probably maybe 1-2 inches clearance at the very bottom there, so that the moment these are starting to touch the ground, I know that I'm actually getting close to the very ground, and I'm not going to then start putting the camera into, say, like an area where I might possibly damage the camera. In summary then, quality wise, I've got to say it's very good. This material feels so strong. It's thick. It probably feels thicker than a seatbelt, but it's seatbelt material. The metal adjusters on here certainly feel very strong. The odd little bits of leather that they've used for stitching things up to give it that extra strength just shouts quality wherever they are. If anything, I would say these probably feel the cheapest part of the build, but they still shout quality. And having that double sort of like security feature of having to squeeze these in as well as press that in gives you that sort of like the extra peace of mind that even if one of them failed, you've still got the other one for backing up, so you're not likely to have it all of a sudden come unbuckle. The adjustment on these, I would say, is a little bit fiddly, but as you can see, you can slide that up there quite quickly and then pull it down to adjust the size. It's very quick. It's a damn sight quicker than if I wanted to adjust this. These really are, being smaller, trying to feed them through that little buckle is a lot more fiddlier than trying to adjust this. My one negative thing I've got to say about this is that the bits that I've put on the camera, the connectors, what you connect the actual strap to, I can't seem to find anywhere where you can buy extra ones. And that's a little bit annoying really, because what my original aim was that to have just the one strap but 2 sets of those, because on my larger lens, which weighs about 2 kilos as well, I do have a strap on there to put on there, but I would like to have had another set of those that I could put on here as well, so that I didn't have to leave this strap on here as well. The great thing about this strap as well is that what you can see in the box there is that on the actual connectors that you put on the camera, that connecting sort of wire, or whatever you want to call it, has different layers within it. So the moment if it was to get worn and you do wear out that top layer, it goes down to a yellow, which is basically giving you a warning. Look, just be careful that there's wear and tear on the strap and you may need to think about replacing it. And if you get down to the red, you're down to the danger level where it could possibly fail. How can I compare this to anything else? Well, I can't really. I do not have a Peak Design one, which would be nice to see the difference in quality, but I'm not going to go out and spend 60, 70 pounds just to see a comparison on this. I will say though that if you're looking to buy one of these, make sure you do a good search around for the different options for pricing. There's a big difference for the official UK site for these, even at £36, or their original list price of £43, to Amazon, which is about £30, and then eBay, which I've effectively paid £23. Hopefully it's been a help for you. This is something that I bought myself, and it has been totally my own opinion of what I've actually come across. Somebody else may well say something totally different. Thanks a lot for watching.